Hello folks, how's it going? Uh, Little film review for you tonight. Not going to be a long one because the film was so-so. It was alright. Wasn't the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't that bad. It's a film called The Last Winter, and it was alright. It was alright. Nothing amazing, like I say. I repeat myself, but it was a film about this group of I think they're drilling for oil, and they're in the middle of nowhere, a frozen tundra, like just nothing but snow everywhere. So that's generally a good Lovecraft setting. But the story basically is that they're drilling for oil in this untapped sort of resource area. You know what I mean, where it's never been sort of brought up before, the oil. And they're in this dispute as to how to get their machinery to the site, and they're trying to build this ice road to bring all the heavy machinery in. And there's certain members of the group that are against it and are trying to petition against it, and there's certain members of the group who are trying to get it to happen. There's not loads to it. It's just basically that's the setup. They're there in the middle of nowhere in this little camp, you know, in their. I think it looks like from the aerial, looks like a load of shipping containers sort of put together, and that's their base camp anyway. And they go out and do stuff in the day, and they're just there. You know what I mean? The isolation of it. That's always a good theme in Lovecraftian tales, sort of, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, so they're in the middle of nowhere doing that, and gradually, and I mean gradually, strange things start happening. People start acting very weird, and people start becoming just, you know, deranged and suicidal. And the Lovecraftian element comes in when you realise it's hard to put it into. It's like the world, the planet, is alive, and well, which it is kind of. The planet is alive, and it is rebelling against what man's doing to it. It plays into the old climate change stuff a little bit, but it's sort of rebelling against the earth, about against humans for doing what they're doing to the earth, and you know. Christ, I'm butchering this review. This is terrible again. Same old, same old. Anyway, so what happens is people start acting strange, and there's this notion that I think one of the people that's gone a bit insane has left a diary to be read, and he's saying about what happens if this stuff we're looking for below the earth comes up to meet us, and it invokes this sort of feeling of like just what would happen to us if the earth fought back. So people start going a bit insane and losing their minds and doing things that put themselves in a suicidal, you know, situation. And it just plays on that idea, basically. Everyone just loses their marbles. And they're just the isolation of it, and like every little step they take, it's like, you know, solidifies the fact in their minds that they're not going to get out of there. There's no escape. No one's coming to save them, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But one thing that lets it down a little bit, in my mind, is nearer the end, you start realising there's these. It was a bit confusing for me actually, because I was well behind the notion of it just being like a supernatural force, an earth force, like fighting back against them. But at the end, you get more and more glimpses of these like spectral sort of like ghostly apparitions of like reindeer and stuff that are like just like killing people. It's very strange near the end. It was a good setup, and the atmosphere was really good, and then that along with the effects of these things, which I didn't think was very good at all. I think that just let it down a little bit. because I like the idea of it being the planet alive, and the planet's coming to life, and its own immune system's taking us, i.e. the humans, the virus, if you want. It's taken us out one by one, and it's spreading to other parts of the world, and this is just where it started. But because during the film you see some of the people going mental, saying, looking through like the binoculars and the night vision goggles, saying, "Don't you see it? Don't you see it?" You can see they can see these things running along, spectral reindeer or whatever. And it just disappointed me a little bit, because I like the idea of the planet's alive and it's just fighting back. So it lost it for me a little bit at the end. Whether that was imagination, that might have been in their imagination. But again, this is another one of them films. I watched it late at night, and I was really tired while I was watching it, and so it made even less sense, I think, because I was, very tired, which is annoying. Because, yeah. But there you go. What a shit review this is. So I ain't going to bother doing it again, though, because I'm not a professional. But yeah, the end of the story is there's one survivor. So when everything's gone tits up, and there was a rescue plane come to get her, and that crashed, and loads of people got injured from that. There was one survivor, and she wakes up in a hospital. So she's obviously been saved and took back to civilization. She wakes up, stumbles out of the room, and just finds people. She just stumbles into a room where a doctor's like hung himself, and that's the first sign that, oh shit, what happened there is happening here. And then she wanders out into the street, and you see this look of like just terror on her face when she's looking around at the outside world. But you never get to see what she's seen. Sort of the camera pans up and it's not pans up, but it goes upwards and it shows her standing on the ground. And I'm expecting it to pan up and to show us maybe a decimated society with just, chaos and dead bodies, but it doesn't. It doesn't show us what she's seen. So you're just left wondering, which is good in a way. I often say that. And then that's the end. Christ on a bike. I don't know if any of this reviews made sense, because I kind of heard myself through all of it, and this was terrible. Jesus, apologies to anyone who's listened to this, but I just don't care enough to do it again. Anyway, The Last Winter. It was all right. Have a look. Don't get too excited though, because it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. Anyway, review over. Cheerio for now.